People let fear hold them back from being great because they're afraid of judgment from others. I knew what I was walking into.
How did you get into all of this cheerleading?
So it's a very long story that goes back to the Plano senior high days. I was sitting in, I believe it was history class, and my teacher just so happened to be the male cheerleader. He was the lead of that organization, and he was like, hey, you look strong, because all I did was work out. I used to compete bodybuilding like way back in the day. I lost all my muscle mass already, but he saw that I was strong, so he thought, so he just pulled me out during a lecture. He was like, hey, I want you to throw this girl up. Her name is Candace. I'm like, hey, okay, hey, Candace, whatever. And she was tiny, so I grabbed her, I did a little stunt with her, and all the cheerleaders were like, oh my gosh, because, and I later on came to understand that people want football players to be cheerleaders, and I never knew that. All the stunts that I do with my daughter in our living room, those are called partner stunts or co-ed stunting. I was so excited to have a daughter. I'm like, ooh, I have a flyer. So like everybody knew once I had a daughter, I was gonna have like this little girl who's just gonna be flying around. Roland has a daughter, she's gonna be flying, he's gonna be throwing her up in diapers. She's been stunting ever since, I think her first stunt was 4 months old. She was just a little baby in diapers. But she didn't know any better. Like, so since I had always had her in my hands since she was in Pampers, stunting is all she knows. And so it's just like another day in the life for her. But we've been stunting ever since she was 4 months. And it really started kicking off around January of last year, 2020. Yeah. What's your motto? We gotta try again and what?
Do it right.
Try again and do it right. I didn't mean to go viral. I didn't mean for the world to know about it, because that's just what I did, because I love spending time. I love stunting, but I have a daughter.
There are more public eyes, you know, looking at us and just kind of, you know, being cautious because she is so young and you want to protect her innocence. So it's fun though. You know, it's a little bit surreal. I think it's neat that we get to share a little piece of our life that I feel is so normal, because a lot of people ask me, Stephanie, how do you feel as a mom? Like, your husband is chunking your daughter in the air left and right and she's doing all these things. And I think it helps that I did cheerleading in college because I understand it. I'm, you know, immersed in the world enough to know it's very much like a sport, and just, you know, watching my daughter do cheerleading is just as if another mom was watching their kiddos doing soccer or basketball or anything like that.
So we had a video, it was right downstairs, where I threw her up, just did some fun stunts. It was like a super easy stunt, but she was so happy. She was having so much fun because she finally could stand on daddy's hand and I could like pop her over. Like, she was having a blast. And then Coach Monica from Navarro saw it and then commented. And then after a while, like, I think she shared it or someone shared something, and then everyone just started following me. So I had 5,000 followers in January of last year. And then it went from 5,000 to 10K. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 10K, I have the swipe up feature. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Like, we're going viral. Like, I need to just retire right now. Like, you know, so, and then after a while, we just kept putting out more and more videos. Like, if you put out one video and it only affects one person, the video was worth it. And it just so happened to be affecting a lot of people in a positive way. So we kept posting every single day. I would post a new video and everybody's like, oh my gosh, y'all are so cute, I love y'all. But then at the same time, Jaden kept getting more and more skills. And so she was like throwing full ups. I didn't think she was 4. You know, I never knew a 4-year-old could do that type of stuff, but we just kept doing it. And the reason she got better, we kept stunting because people wanted to see it. And then more and more people kept sharing our videos. And then out of nowhere, like, followers. And after the followers came, I realized that it's not always a good thing, because people will give their unsolicited opinions and then kind of try to bring you down when you're trying to do something positive in the world. But going back to what I said earlier, I know how to block that stuff out. And personally, it didn't affect me for a while, but then it started to get to me whenever I started receiving hate messages. And that's the part about going viral that a lot of people don't know about, but it never stopped me from posting. But I did go through some times where I was like, hey, I really don't even want to be on social media, because it can be such a dark place if you let it. And I got to the point where I wasn't even reading my messages. I would get hundreds, thousands of messages a day just about, oh, you shouldn't be, you're gonna drop her, I hope you drop her, I hope she's gonna get, like, what are you gonna do when your daughter's paralyzed? Not knowing that I have 12 years of coaching experience, not knowing what partner stunting even is, you know what I mean? So I still deal with that to this day, but I know how to handle it better. And the more you kind of ignore it, the more it starts to just kind of dissipate, just go away on its own. There are people out there who want to see me drop my daughter, and I just like showing them that I'm never gonna let her hit the ground.
The biggest thing is that you have to choose to protect your own space and your mental space. And I choose to know that we are good parents and we have nothing but the best interests, you know, at heart for her. And, you know, if people want to say what they want to say, they're allowed to. But, you know, I get to choose what I read.
Scariest day of my entire life. Took my motorcycle, I was wearing basketball shorts, sneakers, no jacket. I had a helmet though. And if I didn't, I would not be here today, but dark face shield because I drove down in the day and I thought I was driving back in the day, so I didn't bring my clear visor. So everything's like, imagine just wearing sunglasses at night and driving. Then out of nowhere, I'm almost home. I exited I-20, I got on 635, and then I just see my light flash before my eyes. I don't see a pothole because a car in front of me swerved. I'm in the air flipping. And then I land, snap my ankle in half, my face hits the ground. I have like shards of just like plastic from my visor in my face, my eyes swollen shut. At the time, I was so in shock, I didn't even know what was happening. I just saw like my entire career is done. And then the ambulance came, picked me up, and I went to the hospital. I was in pain, but I didn't cry. And they didn't hit me until my mom saw me sitting there with blood all over the bed.
You know, anything could have happened. It was dark, it was late, and I'm just so thankful that he's fine, that there are no remnants from that accident that prevent him from living his life.
After a while, I got out, my resilience kicked in. I was like, I'm gonna be back. So I was that guy at the gym in his boot, working out, still lifting girls up, still playing around, doing backflips on one leg because I couldn't land on both legs. And then after a while, I just kept pushing, then I made it back. And I thought my cheer career was over, but I ended up competing on 2 more teams after that, ended up going to Worlds. I don't do it for likes. People are like, you're just doing this for likes, you're doing it for whatever. I do it because I love it. But they don't know me. The people are coming from a point of not understanding who I am, what I've done, like my entire cheer career. Like they can't tell me anything about what I've done in the cheer world, but they want to tell me why I'm doing it. That's one thing that I wish more people in this world knew. I do it because people love seeing the relationship with my daughter, and I love my relationship with my daughter. I love cheerleading. I love being able to affect people in a positive way. And even though I get backlash from it every single day in my inbox, I still continue to do it because it's making somebody's day. Like somebody didn't have a relationship with their dad, or I always get my dad passed away. And y'all's relationship reminds me of the one that I had with my dad. And so that right there, like, I'm never gonna stop doing it. It changed from daddy will never let you what? Bob. To daddy's gonna drop you if you keep being loose. So, you know, as she gets older, I bring more realism into the situation, but we keep it. I don't have to yell at her. I don't have to scream at her. Her biggest thing is she wants to hit the stunts.
I hope to look back and just for her to know and realize that like we supported her through whatever, and that we'll always be proud of her no matter what she decides to do.
If I can lift her up until she's 20 years old, I'll do that.